on LLA. This is What the Chuck. This is our third on a three-part block of programming here on Afternoons LA. It started with the check, then with the third stimulus, and now What the Chuck. I'm live with you shortly after about 4:30 on the West Coast, about 7:30 on the East Coast. And thank you for joining me. And this is a live broadcast in which I'll be answering some of your incredible questions on camera. And we'll be doing a little bit more than we usually do. In this recording, I'll be going a little bit, throwing it back to what the President of the United States said in his first few days when he came into office about what he was going to say for stimulus. I have all my old quotes, which I was rummaging through here in the studio to go through what he had promised. We'll be checking in on that details as well. And then I'll be bringing back some other stuff. I'm bringing back purple. In this recording, I'm bringing back purple. I'm also bringing back the big question that people have wondered about, which is enhanced unemployment benefits. Haven't talked about that as well. And of course, I'll be covering the current events of today and yesterday. So much across the board. I don't know if I'll cover all this today, but let's see what we can do. Let's get right to it. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Let's get right to it. First, the most important thing to understand when considering the unemployment situation of where we are in the United States is that unemployment, FPUC, UI, and PUA applies to the week in which you're certifying. So, if you're watching this video now in February, but something happened to you in October of last year and you certified for that week is not dependent upon the events of this month. Simply said, if you got hired for a job yesterday and you're wondering, can I still get something from October last year when I was unemployed? Certainly. They have nothing to do with one or the other. And one of the viewers yesterday dropped me a very good question, which basically repeated a similar question I've answered maybe about 1,000 times on this channel, but still is relevant to this day, is what happens with something in the past. Can I still get retro benefits for unemployment? You can. Let me show you how it works. In this video, right off the bat, the first thing I want to cover is this retro unemployment benefits that is there, whether we're talking about first, second, or third stimulus. And then I'm going to show you how you can get hundreds of dollars more per week. All right, ready for it? Get a pen and paper. Let's get right to it. First, generally, most unemployment departments, which are run by your state, are still accepting unemployment new applicants back as far as potentially March of last year. Ironically, you may be in a you may have woken up from a very long nap in hibernation with Yogi Bear and never heard of the idea of unemployment benefits and just found out about them today. And you may have been unemployed since from March all the way up through January, but you have a great job now in February. So can you get unemployment benefits for from March of last year to January this year, even though you have a job now? Yes, and this is how it works. First, you would go to your state's unemployment website. You would determine whether you are an employee or an independent contractor. If you're an independent contractor, you're going to apply for PUA. If you're an employee, you're going to apply for UI. Now, I've done enough videos to explain this, but it still remains an important narrative that most states' unemployment websites require you to apply, if you're a PUA, to apply for UI first to get a denial before you apply for PUA. Once you apply and you're approved for either PUA or UI, the calculations are still the same, you're into the system of your state's unemployment website. And let's say that's March. Guess what? Then you're under the whole universe of what stimulus was like in March of 2020. You're not under the current stimulus. You're under first stimulus. First stimulus ran from March to July of 2020. And so you're going to get your UI or PUA plus $600 a week. Because FPUC, number one, under the first stimulus package ran from March to July of 2020 at $600 a week. So you're going to start your unemployment, let's say $167 a week, for example. And on top of that, you'll get $600 a week. Now, Before I get to the next step of this discussion, I want to say something very important because we're in February. People are asking me, what about taxes for my unemployment benefits? Let me explain. UI, PUA, FPUC, all three are taxable. They're all taxable income. So when you go to certify for your benefits each week, it's going to ask take out for taxes or not. You can choose whatever you want to choose. I always recommend the following. When you choose something, make a note and make a note that's how you always did it. You always took out for it, you always did not take out for it. So that when you go to do taxes the next year, you remember what you did. And some viewers have said to me in their states for some peculiar reason, the state is taking out for UI but not taking out for FPUC. Watch that one. That's a big trip off. You don't want to get fallen into that mistake there. So you take out, so let's go back to that week. You're doing your week of March and you're doing your UI plus the $600. Okay, you're getting that from March to July. Then after July, there's no FPUC. After July, there's no FPUC from July to December. Under second stimulus, Trump stimulus, you have FPUC at $300 a week from January to March. Third stimulus as proposed by President Biden is $400 a week from March to August. That's the proposal. But all throughout today, I've been telling you the great news that Ron Wyden, the Democrat out of Oregon, says I'm not going to agree to this. I'm going to ask for $600 of FPUC from March forward, and I'm not going to stop it at July either. I'm going to tie it to economic factors because we're congressmen. We don't have time to keep on coming back every 10 seconds. God bless him. He's the first person who actually says what we've all been thinking at the top of our heads. Why do I have to keep on coming back for something so obvious? Just tie it to unemployment numbers. I mean, you and I could do it right now. Let's do it right together. The unemployment number when the country went into the pandemic was 200,000 new unemployment claims per week. We're currently at 789, 794. We went to 1.2 for a couple of weeks. We're over a million for 22 weeks. Let's just tie it. Let's just say when unemployment gets to 220, we stop FPUC. I mean, I like that. I like that. Why do we have to keep on having bills and crush the virus and children going hungry? Why can't we just tie it to something so simple as that? And that's what he's saying. So if you're going back to this person applying for unemployment, well, you're going to get your unemployment from March to July with the $600 add-on of that PUC. Then from January this year to March, you're going to get, well, you got a new job. So January, for the month of January, you get the $300 a week. Now, that's that. That's a lot of money. If I calculated all that money right now, that would probably be about $30,000. It's a lot of money. Trust me, I've had a lot of OG viewers who have gotten this money. It's important to understand that the way unemployment works is sometimes they're delayed, but when they're delayed, they pay you eventually. I've had a viewer out of Florida who didn't get her unemployment for many weeks. She got it almost 9 weeks late. She got $15,000. I had another viewer out of Texas got $10,000. These are just normal claims. They were just delayed. So it's very commonplace for people to get $10,000, $20,000 claims after it's been delayed for a long time. So the next one is that there's escalated benefits. And I'll be getting to stimulus checks, SSI and SSDI, and I'll be getting to purple. I'll be getting to rent aid and free rent and utilities just in a second. So the next one is enhanced unemployment benefits. Oh boy, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. I'm bringing this back in the mix because I'm worried you haven't been doing this. If you are unemployed or have been unemployed, you have any weeks of unemployment in the past, doesn't have to be current. It could have been weeks. You could have been December last year, November last year. This may apply to you. How does it work? What is it? First of all, we don't call it escalated benefits. It's a terminology you and I use. Don't use it anywhere else because no one uses that terminology. So they don't know what you're referring to if you say it that way. You just call it more unemployment. Just use simple words. That's number one. Number two, it's for anyone who made $18,000 or more in 2019 earnings. If you made $18,000 or more, you should be doing this. If you made less, it probably won't help you. If you made $30,000 or more, as soon as this video is over and you've watched all the videos today, you do it immediately. You don't wait a second. I've had 3 viewers in the last 3 months get $10,000, $11,000 from this who made over $30,000 in 2019. What is it? All it is very simple. You get your 2019 tax return, get it ready to email, scan it, however you communicate. If you do email on a computer, I'm using that example. Scan it, put it on your computer, the 2019 tax return, and then write a cover letter. Hi, unemployment office. Here I am. It's me, Bambi, and I've been unemployed, and I'm currently getting 167. And thank you. But please take a look at my 2019 tax return. I made $32,000 last year. Can you please see my job was as a makeup artist. Can you please see if I qualify for more weekly benefits of unemployment? Thank you. God bless. That's all you gotta say. Please see if I qualify for more weekly unemployment benefits. That's all you're saying. And please take a look at my tax return. That's all you have to say. Please see if I qualify for more weekly benefits. Send it off. And then please do not be the donut girl. You need to pick up the phone, call them. Call them and say, hey, did you get it? And then call them a few more days. Hey, what's happening? Call them another week. What's going on? Call them until they do it. And then they'll do it. And this is what you're going to get. If you made $18,000 to $25,000 and were unemployed from March to December, you'll raise your benefits about $50 a week, which will be about an additional about $1,500. If you made $25,000 to $30,000 in 2019, you'll raise your benefits about $100 a week, which will be about $3,000 in your account. Bam, bam, right in your account. Then if you made over $30,000 2019, you'll raise your benefits about $300 a week, which will be about $10,000 in your account. Bam. This is the single biggest way I have been able to help people make money that they are owed quickly, fast, without involving the federal government. Why is this the case? Because it's very simple. Every state has a range of unemployment benefits, the base and the maximum. The base could be $99 and the maximum could be $500. Some people are getting $500 in your state. You may be getting $99. You're like, wait a second, why am I getting $99? And someone else getting $500. Because they did this. They told their state, hi, I made $40,000 last year. I made $35,000. I made $31,000 a year last year. You tell them that, you show them the tax return, and then like, oh my goodness, what, we should not be paying you $99 a week. We should be paying you a lot more. Done. All right, now let's cut over to purple. I've not done purple, which I'm referring to affectionately as free rent, free utilities, and free food. I've not done purple a while, and so I want to do purple. I've had some people in some of the comments say things like, when can I get that rent, utilities, food, and more? So Purple is our evening show. Purple had 2 shows on this channel for a while. Purple taped and then Purple live on Evenings LA. It's still live, that it's currently not about rent. So I wanted to cover this. Under the first stimulus package, there was free rent money. There was $1.5 billion left for cities and states to pay you available for you for free rent and utilities. While we were waiting for second stimulus to become law, which it looked like it was never going to come law, and people were losing motivation because second stimulus was not happening, what I introduced to this channel was something called Purple and escalated benefits like unemployment, which I just went over. And I said, go get some free rent and utilities if you qualify for it. And suddenly, while we're waiting for second stimulus to become a law in October, November, it took off. So I want to bring back Purple into the mix. If you need rent, there's now 1, 2, 3 ways to get rent. There's first first stimulus money that's still sitting around. There is second stimulus money, which has now become a law. And then there's private money that's available for rent. Bottom line is you can get, bottom line is there's really ultimately two sources together, public money now and private money. And you can find it yourself. I'm going to tell you first how you can find it. But if you can't find it, reach out to the volunteers. I'm going to tell you where they are. First, you find rent money publicly yourself by reaching out to your state, then your county, and then your city. Your state has it in your state housing authority. Then your county has it in your county housing authority. And your city has it in its city housing authority, or city hall, or county hall. You can find them online or also on the phone, or you can find them on or you can find them on your handheld device. You reach out to them and say, "Hi, do you have any rent money because of COVID?" Those are the only words you want to use. Rent money because of COVID. Don't ever add extra words like, "Do you have rent money for people who are divorced with 3 kids that moved here 2 weeks ago?" Wait a second. What is this, reality TV show? Or is this just sort of, don't put all these restrictors on yourself. Just say, "Hey, do you have rent money for COVID? I'm having problems making my rent." And they will refer you out, as simple as that. Also call your utilities company. They have rent as well. Finally, there's nonprofits that have rent for you. And those nonprofits that have rent get replenished regularly. And those nonprofits, which I detailed right before Christmas, may have a lot more money now than they had then. Those nonprofits are Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul, United Way, Salvation Army. So how do you reach out, and where have they paid rent, and where have people gotten rent? In Mississippi, viewers have gotten rent from Mercy House, Home Saver, and Salvation Army. In Mississippi, they've also gotten rent from Eviction Diversions. In Rhode Island, they've gotten rent from Crossroads and 211. In Texas, they've gotten rent from 211, El Paso Project Bravo. In Nebraska, they got rent from United Way. In Arizona, they got rent from New Leaf and also utilities. Michigan, Salvation Army. Pennsylvania, United Way. New York, One Shot. Kentucky, Community Action. Indiana, 211. Las Vegas, Clark County Services. Then they also have gotten rent in Texas from St. Mary Magdalene, from Kentucky from Community Ministries, from New Jersey from United Way, from Ohio, Community Action, from Massachusetts, Interfaith Social Security, Phoenix from TCDC, New Jersey from Community Action. And there you go. So finally, now that we see what's going on with those with that rent assistance, let me explain how the volunteers can help you. So reach out to the volunteers who are in the descriptions of this video, and the volunteers can help you find rent as well. The volunteers are on news.la.com/community, and they're separated between Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you reach out to them, they can help you find rent. They're helping about 100 people a day. And you reach out to them, say, "Hi, I'm in South Carolina." It's just someone just said. Absolutely, there's rent in South Carolina. Absolutely, I'm in South Carolina. But when you reach out to them, say what city and state you're in. "I need help for this city in South Carolina." And they will respond back to you. They can help you with rent. They can help you with utilities. And they can help you with mortgage assistance. Someone dropped a really good comment just a second ago. I love this comment. So understand that this is February. It's a totally different landscape now than it was before second stimulus before second stimulus became law. Before second stimulus became law, we were relying upon a little bit of money left here, and a little bit of money left there, and the nonprofits. Now, as we sit here, we have all second stimulus money. I mean, it's 300, I think it's like 300, $400 billion given to state and cities. We have all that money, and now we have the nonprofits replenished because it's a new year. They get benefit they get donations every year, so everything is totally new. So if you tried something before and it didn't come out well, or you got denied, or that didn't help, or it ran out, or let's say you did do something well. I have a lot of viewers that got, five, 10, $15,000 for rent. But it may have ended in February, or it may end in January. Reach out to the volunteers again. They're here to help you. Are you going to have applications for mortgage assistance when it comes out? So that question is a third stimulus package question. So yes, so the where this channel goes is as soon as third stimulus bill is available, I'm going to tell you what it is. And so you and I are going to know what are the items you want, how you are you eligible for them, what sort of general documents you probably need for them. And then as soon as it goes live, then I will be your source to how to know where to find everything about it. Did we find anything about the internet? Some of the volunteers may have. We had some chatter about that for a short period of time. That's that second stimulus internet. It's in the third stimulus as well. Do you have to qualify? So the whole issue about the landlords. Oh Lord, that is not an unusual circumstance. If you got rent assistance and your landlord's causing you problems with it, reach back out to the volunteers. This is not a new concept. And this again is a reason why I'm having problems with the VP. Um, she said and wrote all these incredible things as a senator, but she comes in as a VP and then just sort of disowns her own writings. She had written all this wonderful stuff to ensure that landlords pay you, accept your rent, that landlords don't screw you over. And they're not in the third stimulus package. And so people have had issues with landlords. Bottom line is, if you're not involved with your landlord, even when you get the rent assistance from this channel, reach back to the volunteers and they will help you with that as well. That's a spirit of helping. There's I'd say about a dozen volunteers. Again, separated by Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and they can help you. I thought, I don't know. I've always loved purple. The red subject matter of this channel. I've always loved it. It's one of my favorite topics of this channel, and you will remember in summer of last year, the fourth show on Afternoons LA, when the show had four shows on Afternoons LA, was Rent. And I used to always laugh. No one watched that show, but I still record it because it's so important. Well, I think it's going to be more important as things come out. The thing that bothers me, that worries me, is that less people are paying attention to particular subject matters, waiting for a stimulus check to come out. And that worries me because ultimately, when the third stimulus package becomes law, the purple hawks of this family are going to be ready to pounce and get this money, first come first serve, while everyone else is going to be, what? I don't. Does anyone have is there a brochure on this? Is there a pamphlet on this? Can someone explain to me how no, sorry, we've already learned about this. We're already in line to get the money. We're already in line to get the money. Sorry, get behind us. Can I get a book so I can learn about? No, we've been learning about this for a few months, so sorry. This is why you have to be really up to date when these things hit. Um, I don't know. I sort of want to do the subject matter. It's a little bit negative, but not really. I want to go over some comments that the Biden administration said was going to come. Things are going to come to you in the first 100 days, and they're not. So I sort of want to go over them. I was looking through the set and some of the stuff that we were promised for that first 100 days. Um, on Thursday, the first Thursday of Biden's administration, he was going to direct his cabinet agencies to take immediate action to deliver economic relief to working families. Immediate action to deliver economic relief to working families. I don't know. Answer yes or no. Have we seen that? Yes or no on this? Have we seen this? Uh, Immediate action to deliver economic relief to working families. I'm looking for it. I just, you know how you go on the high seas, yes, the shipper, the captain. You're like, I'm looking for it. Where is it? I don't see it. I don't see economic relief, and I certainly don't see immediate action. You know, this is actually a direct quote from Ron Klain. I don't know, is he like the liar in chief? Oh, sorry to say that a lot. You know, I, I, what's the immediate action now? Oh, hey, here, look what else I got in here in my notes. I love this. I have Joe Biden's summary of what was supposed to be in the third stimulus package. You see, I don't throw anything away. I'm not a pack rack. I just, when it comes to stimulus, I don't throw anything away. And so let's see what he said. I'm sure you're wondering, hey, LA, did you keep his documents where he talked about SSI and SSDI? Oh, I did keep them. I did keep them. I'll save them for the new LA when it comes out, when the new LA debuts. I don't want to be too much in, but let's see what he said. So child tax credit. This is the $3,600. That if you have a 2-year-old, your 2-year-old's getting a bigger stimulus check than any of us have gotten this pandemic. If you're just tuning in, children are getting no, excuse me, a 2-year-old is getting a $3,600 stimulus check and a $1,400 stimulus check, even though we can't even barely get a $1,400 stimulus check. Uh, let's recap. $1,200 plus $600, and $1,400, and then the 2-year-olds are getting $3,600 and 1,400. Wow, that 2-year-old is cleaning up. I just, can I borrow from the 2-year-old? This is what they said about the 2-year-old. Child tax credit would give these children, their families, the additional resources they need. I don't know what additional resources does a 2-year-old need. Does a 2-year-old really need $3,600? I don't know. Expansion of the earned income tax credit. So this is the $1,500. This is if you worked as a central worker during the pandemic, made less than $25,000, and you need the money because you made, oh, excuse me, $21,000. Well, you'll get $1,500. This is wonderful. $1,500. Earned income tax credit for the year to ensure that the lowest income workers get critical support, including millions of American workers. Did you hear that word in there? Did you hear the word in there? Let me read it slower. Expansion of the earned income tax credit for the year to ensure that the lowest. When I read that, it sounds like this year. Does it sound like this year? It sounds like you're getting it this year. You're getting the $1,500 this year. No, he's paying the $1,500 next year. Yeah, that don't make sense. Why are we doing that next year? Oh, here's the introduction. While Congress's bipartisan action in December was a step in the right direction, it was only a down payment. It fell short of the resources needed to tackle the American crisis. Okay, what's it a down payment for? Uh, I don't know. I don't want someone to take my videos and turn them into, partisan commercials, but you know, can I just hold this up? Let me just hold it up to the screen so you can read it yourself. Let's see. Which is the one? I want you to read this line. Deliver immediate relief to families. Uh, this is Joe Biden's actual document. I don't know if I've ever shown it on the screen for you. What am I showing? I am showing you Joe Biden's actual document. This is by him. He wrote this. His summary to the third stimulus package bill. He says, deliver immediate relief to working families bearing the brunt by sending $1,400 person checks to households across the American. Um, well, that's immediate. What's immediate, President Biden? Immediate, $1,400. Immediate. It's immediate $1,400 stimulus relief. Um, yeah. I want the bill on my table the first day when I'm in there. Yeah, immediate. Wow. Yeah. Whew. It's very immediate. Um, let's see what else he said in here. It's funny when you look back at documents that are only 2 months old, and you're like, oh wow, did you really just say that? Um, Oh, there was something about frontline workers I just missed. I'm sorry. I was turning the page. It was hazard pay. Um, oh, let's go to that issue. People asking me about hazard pay. What did Joe say? Maybe I should keep this document out more often because people are asking me, when was the last time you heard Joe mention something like that? Um, mm, oh, you know what? Let's go to it right now. Um, well, here's a stimulus check. Provide a stimulus check of four. Oh, excuse me. No, that was nothing. Let me go to the hazard pay, which is just. Here we go. Here's what he says about hazard pay. Call on employers to meet their obligations to frontline essential workers and provide hazard pay. Back hazard pay. Oh, back hazard pay. Call on employers to their obligations to pay frontline workers their back hazard pay. Hmm. So is he making the call yet? President Biden, have you made the call on employers to meet their obligation to frontline essential workers to provide back hazard pay? The president-elect believes these employers have a duty to do right by paying their frontline workers and acknowledge their sacrifices with generous back hazard pay for the risks they took across 2020 and up to today. He and the vice president will call on CEOs and other business leaders to take action to meet these obligations. This is what happened last week when he met with a few CEOs, and his press secretary was asked, "What did they talk about?" I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. Now he didn't meet with 500 CEOs. He met with two. But okay, so he was supposed to. He and Harris was supposed to call on CEOs to tell them to pay frontline workers their back hazard pay. Have you made the call yet? I don't know who writes these things. I'm starting to think that do you think a fiction novelist wrote these things? It's reading like a good Jackie Collins novel. Of course, it's fiction. I thought this was not fiction that I was reading. Everything I'm sort of flipping through, you're sort of wondering, is anything accurate in this? Um, oh, the business grants. Okay, I think I saw Tia in the room. Okay, here we go. Here's the business grants. Provide small businesses the funding they need to reopen and rebuild. Um, hmm. Reopen and rebuild? How much? How much? EIDL grant under President Biden, $5,000. I don't know. I can't rebuild a stack of cards with a $5,000 grant. I don't know about you. Hey, Christopher, thank you for the Tetsy Fair. So this is what he said about business grants. This is what he said about business grants in his original plan, his summary of his bill. And this is this is only 30 days ago. This is not like this was on the campaign trail 2 years ago. This is 30 days ago. This is what small businesses sustained half of the private sector's, half of the loss of private jobs, and they struggle with COVID-19. He will provide grants to more than 1 million of the hardest hit small businesses. This $15 billion flexible, equally distributed grants will help businesses get their feet back on the ground, put the current disaster behind them, and build back America. Um, that is so darn untrue. I don't know who wrote this, but can I speak to the person who wrote this? Because this is a blatant untrue statement. The business grants under the third stimulus package give $5 million grants to restaurants and not to non-restaurants. This document says it will equally be distributed grants to all small businesses. Flexible. Yeah, it is not equally distributed. And it is, I mean, Again, this is not a document to get elected. This is not a campaign document. This is actually what was written 30 days ago. Then $35 billion in government funds to help small businesses. With a $35 billion investments in trade financial programs, Congress can generate $175 billion in low-interest loans to innovate, create, maintain jobs. So this was the program that Tia and others were looking for, that said $35 billion to go start a new business, to innovate and create, provide support for other essential workers. Uh, I don't. I wonder who wrote this thing. Okay, what do you think? What are your comments? I want to hear from you. What do you think? This is not one or two things. The whole document is a lie. The whole document. This is from the president-elect 30 days ago. Is this the bill? No. What I'm reading from was the summary for the third stimulus package bill, and the summary was written by the president. At the time it was written, he was the president-elect, so it was a few days before he was inaugurated. This is a summary put out by the president-elect, and there you go. Ellie is the volunteer. The Facebook volunteer is available. I speak to her every day. She's absolutely wonderful. Just give it a little bit of time for the response. What do you think? What do you think? And also, if you have any other questions or comments on the screen, drop them as well. What was he smoking? I don't know. It's deeply confusing. A bit confusing summary, says Angel Fun. Bumble, you know what? We were dubbed. This is not a document to get elected. This is a document after you won the election. This is a document just a few days before you're sworn in. Every single thing on the document is not, well, almost everything on the document is not being upheld. He got his potholes. Are we still pushing Ways and Means for adult dependents? Jenny, no. You are now pushing senators for changes in the third stimulus package. The videos today, if you did not catch them, cover the fact that we're pushing now senators who have now will have the ball in their court on February 22nd to have them to modify the language of the bill. Now, let me say, you can push anyone in the House. You can push your own House representative. You can push your own senator. Let me explain who and when someone could step up and say, I'm not agreeing to this. This could happen with the House vote. The House vote on the third stimulus package bill will come shortly before February 22nd is the deadline. So if you have a nice rapport with your House representative, call up their staff and say, wait a second, I don't like this. You should not allow this to go forward. Adult dependence should be this. If it doesn't work, then Wyden. So yeah, absolutely call up Wyden's office. Say, adult dependence, it should have been $3,200. What's going on here? This doesn't make sense. They have modified bills before after they get out of the subcommittee. So it's not unusual. It's not an unusual circumstance. That's the first thing. The second one is if they sort of just push the toe hitch right over the finish line and move it in the Senate, then you want to start pushing with the Senate, because the Senate is really where I think the big pushes will happen. I think the Senate is where it's going to happen. So the Senate, you want to tag your senator, and then for business stuff, Rubio, Cruz, Cardin, the Arizona senator, anything for seniors or adult people, Warren, anything for stimulus checks, Sanders, Hawley, of course, even though he's dealing with some other issues at the moment. So absolutely, great question. 1,100 people in the room and 1,000 likes. Doing pretty good. How do you reach volunteers for rent? Great question. So you go to the description to this video, and in the description of the video, you open it up, and it says community page, and it says news.lalate.com/community. You go to that page, it has a picture of some cats at the top of the page. You go down on the page, and they're separated by Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you reach out to them. Say, hi, I'm an LA viewer. I need help for rent in um, Duluth, Minnesota. Say the city and the state. Or I need help with utilities in Duluth, Minnesota. Or I need help with mortgage assistance in Duluth, Minnesota. What number should everyone have? What number do you think everyone should have? Are you asking about the stimulus check? Are you asking about the stimulus check? Are they going to give us stimulus or what? Absolutely, they're going to give you stimulus. The question is how much. They're going to give you a $1,400 stimulus check, $2,800 married couple, $1,400 children, $1,400 adult dependent. That's given. They're going to do $3,600 for children 6 years or younger are going to get a stimulus check as well. And then 17 and younger will get $3,000 stimulus check. Hey Charles, thank you for the big chat. I really appreciate it. Yes, your opinion, the stimulus check. I think that, you know, I think they're on this path for the $1,400, but I got to tell you this. In, where was it? It was in October of last year, and you and I were fighting for bigger numbers for stimulus checks. And I said, why can't these people get off the $1,200 number? What is with them with the $1,200 number? We just heard it over and over again. And then suddenly, within 24 hours, they were on to $2,000. It was really weird. So I could certainly see this group change into, $3,000 stimulus checks in just 10 seconds. It's very strange. They're very weird and wacko. They just sort of almost Jekyll and Hyde-ish. They just change their opinion in 10 seconds. What about adult dependents? Currently $1,400. It should be $3,200. And there you are with 41 minutes on the clock and 1,100 people room and 700 likes. Thank you for joining me on a big afternoons. I enjoyed this recording. I hope you did as well. If you've not liked the video, make sure you like the video. And if you've not subscribed, also subscribe. Thank you for the new subscribers. If you need help with rent or utilities, then certainly reach out to your cities and counties as detailed in this video. And also, if that doesn't work, reach out to the volunteers. news.la.com/community. Consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. Also, it's free to subscribe. Stay informed, stay focused. I'm next back with you at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, with two shows tonight. Check and then Purple. The first one's at 6, and the second one is about 7 o'clock. Don't miss those. I can't wait to see you then. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay in LA for more.